Hello, moms. Warmer weather is here, and there's no reason your kids can't get outside. My guest today, Chairman Kurt Avery, is famous in the outdoors and is a leading provider of Sawyer filtration devices that access clean water anywhere. Listen in today as we talk about ways your kids can get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stay tuned for the Front Parking Spot podcast. Hello, moms. Welcome to the Front Parking Spot podcast. I am so glad you're here. I'm Jennifer Bosma, wife, mom, grandma, former teacher for 23 years, and now a Christian children's book author and your podcast host. Are you a faith-based mom trying to live out a Christian life for your family? Do you want to learn more ways that you can have power over your child's spiritual growth? Inside this podcast, you will find tried and true ideas to grow in your faith and be the best wife and mom you can be. So listen in as you're cleaning up, doing the drive, or matching that sock, and be encouraged to know that God has His front parking spot set aside for you. Hello, moms, and thank you for being here today on the Front Parking Spot podcast. Today, I have Kurt Avery. He is the founder of Sawyer. Sawyer is a leading provider of high-performance outdoor protection products, specializing in water filtration, insect repellents, sunscreen, and first aid solutions. He believes that by introducing children to the outdoors and the importance of caring for others, moms can nurture both curiosity and a sense of purpose, helping kids see that adventure and service go hand in hand. He emphasizes that everyday experiences like hiking, camping, and even gardening can become meaningful lessons in faith, resilience, and compassion. Welcome, Kurt, to the Front Parking Spot podcast.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a chance to be here.
Oh, I am so glad. And we were talking about, before the episode started, how this podcast is coming out in May. What a perfect time with your whole message. Tell us a little bit about more and a little bit about the message you have for moms today.
Yeah, as we were talking earlier, really, as a Christian, I believe it's really important to get your kids outside. I mean, as they go on and get further and further in school, they're going to get blasted away with evolution and all that kind of stuff. Well, what better way than to start them? And I believe in showing them the micro and the macro of the world. I mean, show them little ants and how they do things and the beauty of the sky and the stars, whatever. The more you immerse your kids into the outdoors, the more they'll appreciate God and understand, the world is trying to convince you not. There's a series called Science Dilemma. If you look it up on YouTube, they'll give you a lot of justifications why God really did do this creation thing. That it's way too complicated to be anything else. So immerse the kids early and let them understand just how incredible creation is and enjoy it. I mean, get away from the computers, quit playing games and get out there and get some fresh air and just see the magnificence of creation. It's just astounding. So our job is to keep you safe out there so we can keep those ticks away. We can keep the mosquitoes away. We keep the sunburns away. You can find all that stuff on our website. But we do the military, and the military has to be outdoors every single day. 360 days a year, and they won't go anywhere without our products, either on their clothes or on their skin. So if they can trust us, you can trust us. It has to be gentle enough to be used every day, but effective enough to keep the bugs away. And so we are at the top of the food chain in being able to keep your kids safe. So get them out there.
Yes, I love that we're talking now. I mean, it is May when this is released, and moms are thinking of that. School is done, we're outside, and I think a lot of people don't want to put on all this stuff. And nowadays, your ingredients and your products are going to be probably really healthy for, is it baby skin all the way up to the military adult skin?
Yeah, we can. We have a special formula which we keep the DEET from absorbing into the skin. So it's very, very gentle and very, not going to wreck your clothes or anything else. The other, though, is we treat the clothes. A lot of times you underestimate that the clothing treatment can be absolutely 100% effective as the skin treatment. So you can use them together, but let us show you how to treat the clothes, the baby blankets, create barriers so the kids can lay on the ground, but you don't have to worry about ticks because they won't get past the blanket. All kinds of stuff like that. Mosquito nets you can put over the cribs. I mean, even from the little tykes, but let the kids go running through the field. We'll keep the bugs away.
Oh, I love that. And we're going to share all your details too after this podcast. And what we were talking about, I love what you mentioned too about getting them outside because I remember when I take my granddaughters outside, we are like, when I was a little girl, I didn't know just looking at the stars, looking at the stars at night and up in the sky are also, you can see the planets. And to get out there and to see the constellations, and you can get these little free apps that tell you all that, and just like what you said about looking for the awe of God, and that
Right.
is in the night sky and the day sky and all that. I mean, I know you'd have
Even in the little bitty ants, watching how they do things. I mean, all that stuff. It's micro and macro. It's
mhm.
amazing both ends.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the mom who knows that her kids are inside a lot. They're doing, we had lots of podcasts about getting them off the screens and all that. If you are a mom and it's summer and you want a new project to start with, what would you do? How would you encourage that mom to kind of like, what are some things she should do to get her kids to kind of reintroduce them to outdoors if they're not already?
I'd say create adventures.
Hmm.
You see the TV things where they walk through the park and there's all kinds of little things out there. Get them out in unique places. Don't go to the same place every single time. There's so many national parks you go to. I'm sure there's one near everybody, but get them into, like a hike or an adventure or something, give them a list of things to go find. Find me a four-leaf clover, find me a red leaf, or find me, show me where an ant might be or whatever. Just make an adventure out of it, almost like a scavenger hunt in the outdoors. Just create something like that in your local area.
And then, I like what you mentioned too about gardening and stuff. And you can go to Home Depot, you can get some seeds. You can start small. You don't have to have a huge bed, a
Right.
huge crop bed. You can get it even in a, what would you recommend about that if they want to do some gardening?
Oh, absolutely. But start start early, start easy, like
Yeah,
you said, grow some beans or something. Don't try and get some watermelons the first time out. But
right.
yeah, the Home Depot, Lowe's, they're gonna tell you what grows locally, what
Mhm.
kind of soil you have and what kind of sun you have and, those kind of things. But yeah, start with a little bed, that's theirs. And of course, put some chicken wire around it so the little rabbits don't come in and nibble away and stuff like that. But excellent way. You can grow some stuff you're gonna cook with, some parsley or some, things that they're gonna be able to go back in the house and eat and say, "I grew that."
Right. And tomatoes are always a good one too.
Tomatoes are good.
I know my son-in-law always says that the gardening and the planting should be like Mother's Day weekend. Like that's a big one. They live out in Oregon, so
Right.
to get it out there for sure. So if they're hearing this in May, they can start. Not too late, right?
We used to put the corn in Memorial Weekend, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is when this will be
Knee
aired.
high by 4th of July and, all those little things. Well, I grew up north, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were talking earlier on philanthropy, and if you get your kids, maybe they're not interested now, but we were talking about how to get children interested and helping others. Tell us a little bit about that and what you would recommend for moms that are maybe interested, like maybe their kids are going to run with this going outside.
Yeah. Well, we do a lot of water filters around the world, so we actually have schools or church groups where the kids raise money to, and then we can connect them with somebody to show you, here's the family that got what you just, raised money for, and you can track them over time, watch the kids grow. I mean, there's ways of doing that. I have plenty of it. We do 140 NGOs in 80 countries, so we have them anywhere, any place we can make that connection. But what it does is it gets them out of egocentric. It takes them. There's a world out there. There's kids that need us. I mean, my age, these kids don't have food or water, but I can help them. So those are good projects, but it doesn't have to be overseas. You can, all the local things, food banks and, raking people's yards. I mean, just giving back a little bit for all that you have. You want to get them, and I'm sure moms do this all the time. You don't want them to be everything's about me, so the
Mm,
more you get them to think about kids their own age that they can help, it's a wonderful way to introduce philanthropy at an early age.
mm,
And you can actually see what you're doing, you know.
yeah.
I have charities that will send you pictures of the very kid that you're helping, and you can check back every year, watch them grow.
Mhm. Wow. No, that is great. Is there a way if a mom doesn't know how to start, can she go, to your website and to
Sure.
find information? Okay. And we'll
We'll
have
make
that in a
connection.
second too.
Yeah, we can make those connections for you.
Yeah, that would be great. Tell us a little bit how you got started because you are really huge in this whole arena. And I know firsthand, I have been to Africa, Zimbabwe. There's the one water we can drink and the potable water and all that. How did you get started? I'd like to hear a little bit of your backstory.
Well, we're in the camping business, so we
Okay.
started out in the camping with, actually with a snake bite kit to suck the venom out of a snake bite, and it's still in the stores today. You can still find it at Walmart. And then we went to first aid and then sunscreens and insect repellents and then the water filter. So one of the axioms of business is you sell more things to the same people. It's a lot easier to keep adding on what they have. So we would sit in the stores for 12 hours a day from open to close and listen, what are your problems? How can we solve?
Mhm.
And you have to listen to what the problem is, not what they think the solution is. As Henry Ford said, if I asked them what they wanted, they said a faster horse. But no, so we would hear that water filtration was a real problem, getting these clunky things and whatever. So we ended up finding a solution. It came from kidney dialysis. If you can clean blood, you can clean water. Well, then
Mhm.
we had this thing, and you're sitting there going, and our daughters went to a Christian school, son did too, and we're fully aware of the water problem, not just here, but around the world. And so we worked on it and came up with a system that would do that. And so now it's evolved to the point now where we can, for 30 cents, give somebody 10 years of clean water. 30 cents a per one time 30-cent investment gives somebody 10 years of clean water. So we're at that explosion point. We've done 40 million people already, and we're a little company. We're not as big as you think we are, but we're now to the point with funding we can do 40 million a year or something like that. And I tell you what's rewarding. We talk about the children. I've seen a village now that had it for 15 years, and the kids have never had bad water.
Oh, wow.
And you wouldn't know they could have been American kids. I mean, they've never had stunted growth or whatever. Uh, they lose a third of their kids and most all of it in the developing world, most all of it was bad water. So when we
Mm,
go in within a few weeks, that all goes away. People aren't sick, whatever.
mm.
One village, the missionary goes in, he says, "You didn't name your kids till they're 3 years old. Why is that?" He says, "'Cause we lose so many of them. But if we make it to 3, we know they'll live." He installs the 250 filters in the small village, come back a year later, kids are named at birth now because you haven't lost a kid. So, it's real. I mean,
Wow.
and I don't think you wanna necessarily scare your kids with, the fact that babies die because they don't have clean water. And now we do malaria. We're doing malaria now too. We got the solution to baby malaria and wiping that out.
Mhm.
But there's so many positives. I wouldn't introduce those things
Right.
that dramatically to a young kid, but to let them see kids their own age all of a
Mhm.
sudden perking up and experiencing life, those can be very rewarding and very inspiring to a kid. Even teenagers, any of it.
And, it's important to let our kids know that, I mean, we just go to the faucet, turn it on, drink some water, but that is a luxury, and people that have never been outside of the United States or even, really in the United States. I mean, wouldn't you say United States mostly has clean water? Are there some areas that we have to be concerned with that within the United States?
Yeah, there are. Not just the forever chemicals, but like the Indian reservations, they don't have clean water.
Really?
They're so spread out, but we actually solve some of that. So we
Okay.
work very heavily with those and bring them. The unique part about ours is point of use. It's the last thing the water goes through before you drink it. So we don't care how bad the water is coming in. It doesn't matter if the cows poop in the water or not. By the time it goes through our filter, you can drink it, and it's smaller than a Coke can. Maybe it's half the size of a Coke can, the size of a filter, and never wears out. So you just keep cleaning it. So, yeah, we have parts in the United States where they still need help, and you go up into the hills of the Kentuckys and Tennessees, and they don't have running water. They're out of wells, and, the Hurricane Helene, we sent 100,000 filters up there because they needed it. You can drink the water at your feet, but some of those places, yeah, their water's compromised.
I do have, and I should have grabbed it before we started this podcast, but I do have those little that looks like a pen, and it's a water filtration little pen
It
thing.
doesn't work.
It doesn't work?
No,
So we
don't throw that out. We'll get you one of ours.
okay, because 'cause you're supposedly like the straw that you're supposed to be able to drink it, those don't
I
work?
get it, but it doesn't work.
Wow.
Right.
And I think it's
They do sell a
important.
lot of them. It's
Yeah.
insurance, but yeah. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm gonna need to get yours because I think it's important just as a, in this day and age, we need to have an ability to drink clean water. And I think for a mom and concerned about, her family, it's just good to have a little safety kit. What would you recommend on that?
Well, even if you have a boil alert,
Mhm. Right.
you can drink our water right out of the faucet, because we
Wow.
whatever's, like, contaminated and made in the boil alert, we're gonna take it out. I mean, we take out cholera like boom. You go to Haiti and whatnot, and cholera, you're healthy in the morning, dead in the afternoon. That's how fast it works.
Really?
So when you hear these cholera outbreaks and then you don't hear about them, that just means our filter showed up.
Wow.
They rush them in, plane loads or whatever. So, yeah, every hurricane around the world, we're there. People keep
Yeah.
supplies so, yeah, unfortunately, and I don't mean to be I'm bragging a little bit. We are the only filter that's gonna be able to say you can't get sick drinking through it. I mean,
Okay.
nobody else can make that claim. So and we're
Well,
not
no, but
expensive. These are all under $20, so they're not.
great. It's not like a huge system that you have to get, like,
Oh,
someone
no,
to
it's
come
not
in.
much bigger than the pen you talked about. It's
Oh,
just
wow.
one that has the right filters in it.
Right. Do you have to clean the filters? Like, what's the maintenance?
Yeah, you clean well, every once in a while. Well,
Mm.
we usually in the developing world, we have them clean it once a day, but in your particular case, when you're done, for a week or whatever, clean it because 'cause you're not really putting bad stuff through there,
No.
just a little bit, and so you just clean it's very simple. You just take a little syringe and you back flush it, and takes 30 seconds, and you got a clean filter again.
And you don't have to go and buy all kinds of
So,
stuff. These water filtration systems that when you walk into Home Depot and they're like, "Hey, do you have a minute?" So, we don't do
that's
that.
for taste.
That's cool.
That's for taste.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, they don't have chlorine in the in the ponds over in Kenya, so we're not worried about taste. I mean, we're taking out organic taste, but there's no what you have is they're trying to take out the chlorine taste for you.
Okay. What's your thoughts on chlorine in water?
There's what?
What are your thoughts about chlorine in water?
Oh, it's fine as long as you keep it down to 3 or 4 parts per million. You go
Okay.
above that, you don't wanna drink it. No, chlorine in water has been huge. Before we had chlorine, you had to use alcohol. So that's why in the Bible, they talk about a little wine is good for you, or the kids always had diluted wine because that was your chlorine until chlorine became an industrial thing that we put in our water. So, yeah, no, you gotta have that stuff in there. Otherwise,
Interesting.
bacteria will grow.
Oh, wow. I never even put that together. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. I am loving this. Yes. I mean, we talked about going outside and your products, and I am just really excited about getting as a mom, you wanna have that safety kit, and you could put it can you attach it to your kitchen sink, your filters? Do you need a plumber?
Yes, you can. That's how we use it overseas, but we don't recommend that here because of laws and whatever. There's plumbers laws and whatever.
Mhm.
But it doesn't matter. You can a lot of times just fill up a 2-liter bottle, screw it on, and then drink. So a
Okay.
lot of times they do we have intermittent faucets overseas, what they'll do is they'll take and they'll fill bottles. I mean, I've seen people get 22-liter bottles and fill them all up while the water is running.
Yeah.
Then when they wanna drink, you just take the filter and you screw it on and
Wow. So that's how easy it is
yep, just like that.
if you really.
This is the number one way it's used on the hiking trails. Appalachian Trail is all about Sawyer filters, and that's
Wow.
what they do. They take a smart water bottle because it fits in
Uh-huh.
their little
Yeah.
pouch, and take a sip, keep going, and then
The
you don't have to you can put the dirty water right in here. We don't care how dirty the water is. We're gonna when it goes through here, it's clean. It's drinkable.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh my goodness. Everyone needs one of these. I'm gonna be ordering some today because this is great. And you can take it from any stream. You're walking, you're hiking, you're dehydrated because you forgot your little water bottle. I've done that. Where were we? We were in Arches National Park. We're in Arches. We decided to take a hike. I had one water bottle. We went way in. We were kind of stuck. And then we came back out. We were so parched. And if we would have had that, we could have just gotten to a little creek. It doesn't matter how dirty the water is in the creek, right?
Nope. Nope.
And you just attach it and you never run out of water.
Yeah, you wanna avoid minimum amount of water you'd wanna drink near the farm runoff because of the fertilizers.
Okay.
Uh, Fertilizers is basically just a carbon chain, a lot of it's like It breaks into chlorine, so you overexpose yourself to chlorine. Not a real good thing long term. If you had to parts get rid of the parts, you could drink a little bit, but
Okay.
you're trying to avoid that. But most of your streams, you're fine.
Yeah, if you're out in the wilderness, you're not gonna really have much. Okay.
Especially, stay away from the industrial areas. Hopefully, there's no runoff. But the runoffs nowadays aren't as bad as they used to be.
Yeah,
But it doesn't matter whether the bears are pooping in it or not. It's going to be safe,
that's amazing. And you know what? It's making me think my daughter is a South Carolina grad, and when they had a hurricane come through there, I remember they were on boil alert for, like, weeks,
right?
maybe 2 weeks, but the water was, it was, you know, compromised, and they had to boil water. So, if there's a hurricane, you don't need to boil your water because your filters take it out,
You
correct?
just drink the water you're standing in.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We need to share with moms how they can find you, Kurt. And before I even say that, thank you for creating this because this is a need in our world today. So thank you for that. But tell moms how they can connect and get your products and be outside more.
Well, we obviously have Sawyer.com. If they want to participate in changing the world, we have SawyerFoundation.org. And so 100% of any donations go to the project overseas. You can pick your continent, you can pick your country because we're everywhere. Even in the most remote places you would never think we are, but we are in the places you would say, no way. But we're not, obviously Amazon, we're in the backpack, wherever there's backpacking, camping things are sold, we're there.
Are you at Cabela's and all that?
Oh, yeah, big time. Cabela's, Bass Pro, REI, Academy, a little bit in Dick's, not so much. They've kinda gone away from that, but Dunham's, yeah, and any camping department, we should be there.
Wow. Well, all I
But
can
but
say,
go to Sawyer.com to
okay.
learn how to use these things,
Yes.
'cause we can show you how. I mean, the clothing treatment goes right through the wash. It'll stay valid right through the wash. You're not washing it out. It goes in like the ink. So let us teach you how to use these things properly.
So your blankets and such, you can wash them and you don't have to because 'cause I'd
Right?
be afraid to wash it. That was my first thought as a mom. I'm
No,
like, "Okay, they spill a juice pack and then you gotta wash it and wash away my mosquito repellent or tick
nope.
repellent." Not
Go
a
right
problem?
through the wash.
Multiple washes?
Depends on dosage, but they're rated for 6 washes or 42 days of sunshine. So, like, say, for instance, you have your gardening clothes and you
Okay,
don't wash them every single time. It's 42 days of sunshine.
on
So
it.
if you come back and put it in the closet, the clock stops. So it's
Okay,
UV light that takes it out
okay.
and the agitation of a washer and dryer. So even a gentle wash would double how long it'll last. But you'll know because the mosquitoes will start getting a little bit closer. But ticks, once they cross 1 inch, that's it. They'll live for another 4 or 5 hours, but they're done.
And they
That
can't bite you and hurt you because we did an episode earlier on Lyme disease, and that was a very interesting and very informative podcast as well. So this will
yeah,
go with that podcast to prevent the ticks infestation.
they're a bit very big on recommending our product, all the Lyme foundations.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Kurt Avery, for being here today. This has been a wonderful podcast to start the summer off with.
Well, get out there and enjoy it. You're gonna have another
Absolutely.
beautiful summer.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Well, mamas, thank you so much for joining in. I know you are super busy doing all the things that can consume your day, but you took a couple of minutes to learn how God wants to build you up in your faith, family, and life, and He wants to applaud you for this. Please subscribe and review my show. This helps other moms tune in as well. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram at Front Parking Spot, on Facebook at Front Parking Spot Mom Community, or my website at jenniferbosma.com. Have an Ephesians 3:20 type of day, mamas, and be encouraged as you go for the front parking spot in your life today. God bless.